I want you to help me out on making machinimas, but of course you're so freaking famous and you don't want to talk to noobs who just started making videos. I just thought maybe there is a chance that you would help me out. I mean, I have some good montages to prove that I have some skill, so I will wait for your answer. About helping with people with movies, the best help I can give you is inspiration. I can show you that it's possible. I can give you some advice, but and you kind of got to do this on your own. I did everything on my own. I pretty much started things for my own, and got my own actors, and got some voice actors and stuff. I might voice act in your movie if I have time. Sometimes I get really, really busy with school and movies at the same time, which I probably can't help. But yeah, I'm not gonna like make your movie for you if that's what you're asking. If they had made some special mods for Reach, would you have used those mods and tools to help make more enhanced machinimas? Would you use Halo PC and Halo 2 Vista? Well, I mean, I used all the mods in Halo 3. I loved mods. The thing I love about mods is they can make your movie something that people aren't expecting. And I think one of the things Digital Fear said in his tutorial was the thing you want to do in a movie is you want to give people something that they're not going to expect, which is what mods do, and I like that. I use the one on Valhalla a lot with all the trees. There's a nice one in Halo 3 again where you could do Forge and custom games, so you still retained your armor colors, which really helped a lot because you could use like have an Oracle flying around and still have, you know, your nice Spartan with his nice like multicolors and stuff. He wasn't like one color. This is going to be a really long PSA. I'm about a quarter of the way done. Will you cast me for anything? Maybe. We have a lot of actors. Like I said, I remove people periodically, quite commonly. So just send me a friend request, and if you get a chance, I'll send out a big message if I'm filming some large scene with a lot of people. Do you plan on being a filmmaker professionally? Yes, I do. Definitely. I don't know if that's going to be the first thing I do. My parents are like, oh no, you should be an engineer, you shouldn't do films and stuff, but I'm definitely making films at one point in my life. I can say that. There's a lot of ideas I have in my head that I would not be able to live the rest of my life knowing they're not made. I would not trust anyone else making them because there's just stuff that I can't tell people. There's just some moods I cannot have anyone else capture for me. And I know these stories I have in my head are never going to be made without me. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to become a filmmaker eventually. Will there be any special effects tutorials that you'd be willing to share with us? Yeah, I already have a few. I have a UAV tutorial in Sony Vegas, which even if you're not planning to use a UAV, it's stuff that if you know how to do the stuff I did in that UAV tutorial, you can do a lot. You can do a lot with that. I mean, I used that exact same technique in the opening to Tempest Maximus with like the little camera HUD and stuff. Just be creative. You can make effects pretty creatively. I mean, you use Microsoft Paint and make like cool, like I used like for the HUD in Tempest Maximus, I just went into Microsoft Paint, made a giant green background, added some blue lines, and then it green screened out the green, so I had like this nice little HUD with like lines on it that kind of looked like ODST at the beginning of the ODST trailer. You know, it had like lines on the camera lens. Are you gonna make new Halo Reach vids? If you are, when? Yes, definitely. I'm definitely not gonna just stop making Reach vids. I'll be talking more about what I have planned later. That's gonna be what I'm gonna be talking about on day 7, our actual anniversary day. So I'll leave that suspense till then. Where do you get your body actors? Well, a lot of people tell me they have problems getting actors. They say they can't get enough people. I think the thing about that is you should probably not start with making movies with like, 16 people. What I always tell people, try to make something that you can make. Don't try to make something that you don't think you're going to be able to do. I mean, I'm not going to try to make Avatar in Halo. I'm not going to try to create Pandora or make some crazy scene. I'm going to do what's available to me. So I mean, if you're just starting out, you shouldn't be making huge machinimas. You can make a great machinima with just yourself. You can be creative, make a whole movie with just one character. Maybe a character like talking to some cones or camping stools, wherever that's from. But anyway, I got my actors from Unyielding Legion, my elite clan. that's where they first came from. And people from there, I was like, hey, let's make movies, and they were like, okay. And we started out. Eventually, we kind of broke off, I guess you could say. And I started getting enough actors where I didn't need them, and I had a whole bunch of people. Do you play Minecraft? Yes, I answered that earlier. Yes, it's a cool game. Do you need / want me to make music for you? I can and will. Yes, I would like that. Actually, I'd like that very much. I think I'm always looking for royalty-free music. So if you can write it for me, that'd be great. Because I'm right now, it's me and Bryson doing all of our music, which is kind of a lot for 2 people. What people would you recommend to voice act? Anyone who's confident in their talent. More often older people than younger people. I mean, it's kind of hard to make a video and take it seriously if there's some really young kid. And I'm sorry about that. I mean, when I started making movies, I was really young. When I made The Honor Guard, I was like, hey, I'm 2 years old. Woo, I'm an honor guard. And it sounded bad looking back at it, but I was confident. I was like, hey, you know, I'm going to make this. And, I mean, it was alright. I mean, it turned out pretty good, I guess. It got us a lot of attention. People liked it. But if you're older, it really reflects. Just be patient and try not to push yourself too hard. You can use editing software, you know, to lower your voice pitch a few octaves, but also don't lower it so much where it's like, hey, this can jump, blah, blah. You can't understand what they're saying. When is the sequel to Commando coming out? I'll be talking about that on day 7 also. Where do you find your voice actors, and how can I go about finding some? I actually made a video that included almost all the voice actors I used. I think I had like 32 voice actors and all their contact information. It had a voice sample of every single one. Go to my channel, type in voice actors available or something in a little search thing on my channel. It's a really helpful video. What machinima directors do you look up to, and what is your favorite machinima right now? Another awesome question. Directors I look up to? I really look up to, of course, the Forgotten Spartans. They're probably my favorite machinima. And I know you're like, oh, well you just like big action machinima and stuff. Well, there's a lot more to them than just big action machinima. I've watched them many times. I've rewatched them. I've watched the first one, and when I first saw the first one a long time ago, someone was like, "Hey, Arbiter, you're really good. You're like as good as Dark Null." I'm like, "Who's Dark Null?" So of course I had to look it up. I watched the first one, and at first I was like, you know, this is pretty bad. The camera angles are pretty crappy. The lines are stupid. The continuity is stupid. But now that I'm going back to watch them, I'm like, well, what is good about this? Why am I drawn to this? And I find myself rewatching the Forgotten Spartans and watching it go on. And although the first one wasn't the best made, I really liked it. I liked the first part. I liked the second part. It really picked up after, I think it was like the 5th part. It really started getting awesome. I love the Forgotten Spartans. So I also like I forgot his name. The guy who made Jack Walters. I love that movie. It's a great movie. The first one made me lull. And it wasn't just funny, it was actually something that most Halo gamers could relate to. It was really, really well made in Halo 3. And I love Jack Walters. Yeah, I'm kind of repeating myself in this PSA. I also like Ataraxia was a big inspiration to me. That's my biggest inspiration to Tempest Maximus. That movie was crazy. That movie really took machinima to a whole new level. What other movies do I like? There's a lot I'm not thinking about, but I mean, there's a lot of movies. I like all the ones my friends make. I mean, all the people in my box. Those are people who I recommend to my viewers based on people I like. I don't like a lot of stuff on machinima.com. In fact, I don't like about 99% of the stuff on machinima.com, which is why I'm not subscribed to them. Because I'm not much of a comedy person, although, not that I don't like comedy. Comedy's funny. But it's always like the same thing. It's just, I laughed again. I'm gonna laugh some more. But with like storyline movies and action, there's stuff that happens that you're just not expecting, and that's kind of what I like about movies. What was your first editing program? I already went over that, Pinnacle. How do you get all those people for machinimas like Zealot? I also went over that one. Just like I started out with this, a few people, and then eventually everyone wants to be in my movies, and you'll get enough people eventually. When you make machinimas, how many hours do you put into each day of filming and/or editing? Sometimes, if I'm understanding your question correctly, sometimes I'll go a very long time without filming. When I have a movie in progress, I can go almost a whole month where I pretty much don't have time to film or edit it. I might hop on every so often to get like one scene in. That's what happened with War. When I started War, I was like, you know, this is going to be a really quick movie, it won't take long. And it ended up taking over half a year, because it went on into the end of the year, in my school year, and I had all these AP exams and finals and stuff, and I almost put that movie down just for about a month and said, you know, I'll pick this up later, which is what I did. When summer came, I finished that really quickly. But when I actually find a day to film, I'll usually pick a weekend. I'll pick like a Saturday, because most people are on Xbox Live on Saturdays. I tell them, hey, I'm reacting today. They all get on, we act. And then on Sunday morning, I get up early in the morning whenever like the rest of my family is kind of sleeping or walking around out in the other rooms. And then that's when I record, and then I'll edit that day. And then I'll edit during the week, kind of, because editing is something I can do after school. I can, you know, pop some clips in and like move them around and do cool stuff. How did you start getting so many views? I say patience has the best effect. I made movies, and I continued making movies. I didn't just make one video and say, hey, this is a good video, it will get lots of views. You know, at first I didn't get hardly any views. I made a lot of pretty cool videos at the beginning that I think should get a lot more views that haven't, but it takes time. Eventually, once you get a large enough fan base and you make movies, there's more people to tell more people about your videos, and it accelerates, trust me. It's slow. It's taken me 3 years to get to where I am, and I've seen a lot of people get this many subscribers in like 5 months, and it's kind of depressing, and you're like, oh, I suck and stuff, but just keep working at it. You'll do fine. It really comes down to why you're making movies. Do you need a lot of subscribers? Do you want a lot of views? I mean, I don't make movies for subscribers or for views. I make movies because I like making them, and I like having people enjoy them. I like talking to my viewers about what they enjoy. So to me, subscribers and viewer counts, you know, that's just a bonus to me. Can you put a link for all your music? All credit will be given. That's something I'll do eventually. I don't deem my music that great at the moment. You know, it's just kind of random stuff I threw together that I thought sounded cool, had a good melody. Eventually, I'll once I get good at FL Studio, I'm going to actually try to compose a lot of really good movie music, and then I'll definitely have, like, I might even get a website at that point. If we get the Black Plasma Studio site working, I'll have, like, the links and all them downloadable and listen toable and stuff. But I made some nice FL Studio stuff. I started working. I've been practicing that a lot lately, trying to get good at it, and I've made some songs I'm really proud of. Do you use porn? I almost read that wrong. Do you use porn to modify my voice? Do you use programs to modify your voice? If so, what programs? I use Audacity. That's what I'm using right now to record. Audacity does a lot. It does pretty much everything I need. There's some things I don't like about it, but it's really simple. And Goldwave is alright, but I think Goldwave's annoying. I think you even have to like pay for it or bootleg it or something. So Audacity's nice and free. Doesn't have too many problems. Usually, how large is the file of a video just before you upload it? Let's go find out. Alright, I'm going into my Machinima bin of all my movies and stuff. Let's see, Zealot Part 1, 1.31 gigabytes. I mean, that's an HD video, so we can expect it to be high. What other? Let's try Tempest Maximus. Tempest Maximus Part 1. Like, 0.99 gigabytes, pretty much a gigabyte. Part 4, just under a gigabyte. Part 3, just under a gigabyte also. So these big HD videos, you know, they're a lot. Cone Combat 2, 1.42 gigabytes. When I was using my standard definition card, let's try Commando Part 1, 353 megabytes. Where's Cone Combat 1? Cone Combat 1, 700 megabytes. I mean, that's not bad, it's under a gigabyte. Hunter, 80 megabytes. That's when I was not even using widescreen. I'm trying to find another old one. Hey, here's War. War Part 1, about 500 megabytes. Part 2, 500 megabytes. War is like 500 megabytes piece. Maybe I'll look at Sub-Zero. Like 90 megabytes, 200 megabytes. Yeah, that answers that question.